Listen, take a moment. Feel the air around you. It's not just a breeze, it's something more, something alive, stirring deep within your spirit. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That quiet nudge, that restless pull in your chest, like something big is about to unfold. This isn't random. This isn't your imagination playing tricks. This is a whisper from the divine, a signal that something is shifting in the unseen places, where heaven meets earth, where your past and your future are about to collide. There's someone out there, someone from your yesterdays, who's starting to feel the weight of your absence. They walked away once, didn't they? Maybe they left without a word, or maybe they said too much, words that cut deeper than you let on. You carried that hurt in silence, didn't you? You tucked it away, kept moving, kept breathing, even when it felt like the world was heavier than it should be. But here's the truth they didn't see coming: you were never just a moment in their story. You were a chapter, a turning point, a spark they couldn't extinguish, no matter how far they ran. Right now, as you're listening to this, they're thinking of you. Maybe it's late at night when the world is quiet, and their thoughts are loud. Maybe it's in the middle of a crowded room, where your name slips into their mind like a melody they can't shake. They're remembering the way you laughed, the way you loved, the way you showed up when they didn't deserve it. And that memory? It's pulling them back. It's tugging at their soul, reminding them of what they left behind. But this isn't just about them. This isn't just about someone circling back to a place they once abandoned. This is about you, about what's being prepared for you, about a moment so big, so unexpected, that even the stars are leaning in to watch. You thought the story was over. You thought the door they closed was locked forever. But God, in His infinite wisdom, has been holding the key all along. He's been writing a story you couldn't see, working in the shadows while you were picking up the pieces of your heart. Every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening, it was heard. It was held. It was woven into a plan so beautiful, so breathtaking, that it's about to change everything you thought you knew about your life. This person, the one who's planning to come back, they're not coming alone. They're bringing questions, regrets, maybe even apologies. But here's where you need to listen closely. Not every return is a gift. Not every smile is sincere. Some will come with flowers in their hands, but roots that haven't changed. Some will speak words that sound sweet, but their heart hasn't done the work. And God is saying to you, right now, don't be swayed by what looks familiar. Don't let the echo of old feelings drown out the wisdom He's placed in you. Because while they're planning their return, God is planning something greater, a reversal, a restoration, a moment where everything that was taken from you comes back in ways you never imagined. You weren't forgotten when they left. You were hidden, tucked away in a sacred place where healing could find you. You were being shaped, strengthened, prepared for a purpose that's bigger than their departure. That pain you felt? It wasn't the end. It was the soil where God planted seeds of something new. And now, those seeds are breaking through. Your worth, your peace, your voice, they're rising, and no one can stop it. Not the one who left, not the one who doubted you, not even the part of you that's still afraid to hope. There was someone else, wasn't there? Someone who stood in the shadows, speaking words that weren't true, stirring trouble when you were already hurting. Maybe it was a friend who wasn't a friend, someone who smiled to your face but whispered poison behind your back. Maybe they fed lies to the one who left, twisted the truth to make themselves feel bigger. But their time is up. God is pulling back the curtain, letting light spill into every dark corner where your name was misused. The truth is coming out, and it won't be quiet. People will talk, confessions will spill, and those who thought they could bury you will see you rise instead. This isn't about revenge. This is about redemption. While the enemy tried to write an ending to your story, God was writing a beginning. He's been working in the quiet, in the moments you felt alone, in the nights you wondered if you'd ever feel whole again. He's been building something in you, a strength, a fire, a peace that no one can take away. And when this person comes back, they're going to see a version of you they don't recognize. Not the you they left, not the you who begged or waited or wondered. They're going to see someone who's been touched by grace, someone who's been rebuilt by love, someone who's been crowned with purpose. You're not stepping into their story anymore. You're stepping into your own. And this story? It's not about chasing what was lost. It's about claiming what's yours. The joy they took, the confidence they shook, the dreams they made you doubt, God is giving it all back, multiplied. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not just healing, you're glowing. And the one who's coming back, they're about to walk into a moment they didn't see coming. They thought they knew you, but they don't know this you. The you who's been through the fire and came out shining. The you who's been held by heaven itself. Don't rush this. Don't run back to what feels familiar just because it's knocking. Let them come. Let them speak. Let them show you who they are now, not who they were. Because God is watching, and He's not letting anything near you that doesn't align with the future He's planned. This isn't about reopening old wounds. It's about revealing new truths. You're not here to settle for less. You're here to rise into more. There's a reason your heart is stirring right now. There's a reason you feel something shifting, like the ground beneath you is moving. It's not your imagination. It's God. He's moving pieces, aligning paths, opening doors you didn't even know were there. The person who's coming back might think they're writing the next chapter, but God's already written the book. And in this book, you don't lose. You don't shrink. You don't beg. You shine. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. The angels are watching, the heavens are moving, and your life is about to become a testimony. You thought you were overlooked, but you were chosen. You thought you were broken, but you were being built. And now, as this person plans their return, God is planning your rise. And what He's about to do will leave them speechless. It will leave you in awe. Because this isn't just a return, it's a reckoning. A moment where everything you've been through becomes the foundation for everything you're about to become. Let's go deeper, because this moment is more than a single event. It's a divine orchestration, a tapestry woven from every choice you made to keep going, every time you chose faith over fear. You've walked through seasons that tested you, seasons where you wondered if you'd ever find your way out. Maybe you questioned why you had to endure so much, why the road felt so heavy, why the nights felt so long. But every step you took was a step toward this moment. You weren't lost, you were being led. You weren't abandoned, you were being prepared. Think about the times you felt invisible. The moments when it seemed like no one saw your pain, no one noticed your strength. But God saw. He saw every time you chose to stand up when you wanted to fall apart. He saw every time you smiled through the hurt, every time you forgave when it would have been easier to hold a grudge. Those moments weren't wasted, they were seeds planted in the soil of your soul, and now they're blooming. They're turning into a harvest so abundant it will overflow into every area of your life. This person who's coming back, they're not the centerpiece of your story. They're a part of it, yes, but they're not the point. The point is what God is doing in you, through you, for you. Their return is just a thread in a much larger tapestry, a reminder that nothing in your life is random. Every moment, every tear, every prayer has been building towards something greater. You might not see the full picture yet, but you're about to catch a glimpse. And that glimpse? It's going to take your breath away. You've been carrying questions, haven't you? Questions about why things happened the way they did, why people left, why you had to walk through so much alone. But God is about to answer those questions, not with words, but with moments. Moments that show you why the pain was worth it, why the waiting was necessary, why the heartbreak didn't destroy you but shaped you. You're not the same person you were when they left. You're stronger, wiser, more rooted in who you are. And that strength? It's going to carry you into a future that's brighter than you can imagine. Let's talk about the people who tried to dim your light. Because it wasn't just one person who hurt you, was it? There were others, people who spoke against you, who doubted you, who made you feel like you weren't enough. Maybe it was someone you trusted, someone who should have lifted you up but tore you down instead. Their words lingered, didn't they? They made you question yourself, made you wonder if you were worthy of love, of respect, of a place in this world. But God is saying, enough. Their words don't get to define you. Their actions don't get to determine your future. He's rewriting the narrative, and in this new story, you're not the one who shrinks, you're the one who rises. This is a season of unveiling, where hidden things come to light. The lies that were told about you, the whispers that tried to break you, they're being exposed. And it's not because you're seeking revenge. It's because God is a God of truth, and He doesn't let His children be silenced forever. The people who tried to bury you are about to see you soar. The ones who laughed when you cried are about to watch you shine. And it's not about proving them wrong, it's about proving God right. Because He said you were enough, and now the world is about to see it. You might feel something stirring in your spirit right now, a quickening in your heart. That's not a coincidence. That's God speaking to you, confirming that this message is yours. You didn't find these words by accident. You were drawn here, led to this moment, because something divine is happening. The air is alive with possibility, charged with the promise of what's to come. You're not just hearing words, you're receiving a call, an invitation to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. The person who's coming back, they're going to see a version of you that's been transformed. You're not the person they left behind. You've grown, you've healed, you've learned to stand tall even when the ground felt unsteady. And when they see you, they're going to feel the difference. They're going to sense the shift. They might come with words of regret, with promises to make things right, but you don't need their words to feel whole. You're already whole. You're already enough. And what God is doing in your life is so much bigger than their return. Trust is hard, isn't it? After everything you've been through, opening your heart again feels like stepping onto thin ice. But God is saying, trust me first. Trust the one who's been with you through every tear, every doubt, every moment you felt alone. Trust the one who's been working behind the scenes, aligning things you can't even see yet. When you trust Him, you don't have to fear what's coming. You don't have to second-guess every knock at your door. You can stand firm, knowing that nothing enters your life unless He allows it, and nothing stays unless it serves His purpose for you. This is a time to listen to your discernment. That quiet voice inside you, the one that's been whispering warnings or nudging you toward hope, that's not just your gut. That's the Spirit of God guiding you. Don't ignore it. Don't brush it aside because your heart wants to believe in second chances. You can have hope and still have boundaries. You can love and still have standards. You can forgive and still protect your peace. Because this isn't about shutting people out, it's about letting the right things in. You're stepping into a season where your worth isn't up for debate. You're not here to convince anyone of your value. You're not here to prove yourself to someone who didn't see you the first time. You're here to live fully, to embrace the calling on your life, to walk in the freedom that comes from knowing who you are. And who you are is someone God has been preparing for something extraordinary. Something that will make the pain of the past feel like a distant memory. Something that will turn your scars into stars. The person who's planning to come back, they're not the main character in this story. You are. And God is the author, the director, the one who's been setting the stage for a moment that will take your breath away. You've been through the valley, but you're coming out on the mountaintop. You've walked through the fire, but you're coming out refined. You've carried the weight, but you're about to lay it down and step into a lightness you haven't felt in years. So what do you do now? You wait, but not the kind of waiting that feels like holding your breath. This is an active waiting, a trusting waiting, a waiting that says, I know God is moving, and I'm ready for what's next. You keep praying. You keep healing. You keep growing. You keep showing up for yourself, because you're worth it. And when that person comes knocking, you let God open the door. You let Him decide what stays and what goes. You let Him show you what's real and what's not. This is your confirmation. That feeling in your chest, that stirring in your soul, it's real. It's God. It's the sound of heaven moving, the sound of chains breaking, the sound of a new season dawning. You're not stuck. You're not forgotten. You're not defined by who left or what they said. You're defined by the one who stayed, the one who's been with you all along, the one who's about to do something so big, so beautiful, that it will change everything. Let's talk about the journey you've been on, because it hasn't been easy. There were days when you felt like you were walking through a storm with no shelter in sight. There were nights when the silence was louder than any noise, when you wondered if you'd ever feel joy again. But every time you chose to keep going, every time you picked yourself up, you were building something. You were laying the foundation for a life that's stronger, fuller, more vibrant than you could have imagined. Those moments of resilience, those quiet acts of faith, they weren't small. They were monumental. They were the bricks of a new beginning, a new you. You might be wondering why this person is coming back now, after all this time. Why the sudden shift, why the pull in their heart? It's because God is moving in ways that don't always make sense to us. He's working in their story, just like He's working in yours. Their return isn't random, it's part of a divine rhythm, a moment where the past and the present meet to reveal something new. Maybe they're coming back to make amends. Maybe they're coming back to see what they missed. Or maybe they're coming back because God is using them to show you how far you've come. But here's the thing, their return doesn't define you. It doesn't determine your worth or your future. It's just a moment, a piece of a much larger puzzle. The real story is what God is doing in you. He's been reshaping your heart, renewing your mind, preparing you for a purpose that's bigger than any one person. You're not here to relive the past, you're here to step into the future. And that future? It's bright. It's bold. It's yours. You've been carrying a weight, haven't you? A weight made of questions, doubts, maybe even regrets. But God is saying, let it go. Lay it down. You don't need to carry it anymore. The pain of what was, the fear of what might be, it doesn't get to hold you back. You're stepping into a season of freedom, where the chains of the past are breaking, and the doors to your future are swinging wide open. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not just healing, you're whole. And when this person comes back, they're going to see it. They're going to see the light in your eyes, the strength in your step, the peace in your presence. They're going to see a version of you that's been transformed by grace, refined by fire, lifted by love. And that's going to change everything. Not because you need their approval, but because God's glory is shining through you, and no one can ignore it. So stand tall. Keep your eyes open. Listen to the whispers of your spirit, because they're leading you somewhere beautiful. This is your moment, your season, your time to rise. The person who's coming back, they're just a part of the story. But you? You're the miracle. And what God is about to do in your life is going to leave everyone in awe.